5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision for the week that was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, October 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Troy University announced this week that it has received a multi-million-dollar grant that will go toward helping improve health care options for many Alabamians. Mackenzie Foster has the story.
Healthcare assistance for underserved communities in Alabama may soon be on the way, thanks in part to a federal grant received by Troy University's College of Health and Human Services.
The Community Health Worker Grant, which is a HRSA federal level grant, it's $3 million over 3 years. Is huge for us. This is the single largest competitive grant that we've received for the college. So that's a nice kickoff to the future that we have and the potential for the college. For the state, though, it allows Troy to be an active participant in helping improve the state. Our college is the Health and Human Services. So it fits perfectly with what we're trying to do to improve the health and the services opportunities for the state.
The grant will go towards training community health workers, which according to Troy's director of the School of Social Work, can be anyone in a community that has a desire to help individuals navigate the healthcare system.
Really, the community health worker is a layperson in the community that is willing to serve as a health advocate, if you will. And the role has it's been around for a long time. I think the difference has been that there aren't or haven't been necessarily opportunities for people to become community health workers. This is a unique funding opportunity that has come through the Biden administration to ensure that communities, particularly those that are affected by health disparities throughout Alabama and around the U.S., can have an opportunity to play a role in bridging some of the services or some of the gaps that exist within the healthcare structure.
The Wellness Coalition of Alabama is partnering with Troy in this endeavor, and they say there is a need for this type of assistance in communities all over the state.
Well, when we look at the underserved communities in Alabama, there is a need with health insurance or health care overall. And so there is definitely a need there, and the community health workers should be able to help navigate the individuals with any of the services that they may need, from health care to learning about their chronic diseases, to helping to find insurance that they would need, or even to help them connect with medications that are needed for chronic conditions.
The training program is expected to start early next year. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's been said that you can't judge a person until you walk a mile in their shoes. Well, Troy University students had the chance to step into the shoes of individuals who live in poverty through a simulation event offered by the Office of Civic Engagement. Sarah Campbell has the story.
On Wednesday, the Office of Civic Engagement held a poverty simulation in the Trojan Center ballrooms. The simulation allowed students to experience what it may be like for individuals living in poverty.
The poverty simulation is something that our office hosts each semester in the Office of Civic Engagement. We feel like this is one of the most immersive experiences that we provide students. We think that this aligns well with several different curriculum areas and several different career interests that students have, just better informing them about many of our neighbors, many people in our community that do really struggle just to make ends meet from week to week.
Students who participated were assigned the role of a family member and were asked to play out the role over a span of 4 15-minute weeks.
There may be a single mom, or maybe they're a disabled elderly individual, and they have to figure out how to each week throughout the simulation pay their mortgage, purchase food, get children to school, get to their job, apply for benefits or resources, and just kind of make it and make ends meet.
The poverty simulation aims to inform students of all majors about the structural barriers that may exist for individuals living in poverty.
We feel like it's really important for students to understand, no matter what career they're going into, but particularly for those who are going into service industries, they maybe it's nursing or education or social services. We feel like it's particularly important for students to understand the diverse backgrounds that their clients are going to come from, and that they can better empathize with individuals and really understand some of the challenges that exist.
It's important to understand the different backgrounds people may have in order to help them.
In these service roles, we have a great opportunity to assist individuals and point them to resources that can really better their situation. But the challenge is, if we don't really understand personally their challenges, then often we can really do them a disservice and really not be as helpful as we think or we hope that we are.
Sarah Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
High school engineers were on Troy's campus Tuesday showing off their robot building skills. It was in preparation for robot competition that brings high schools from across the area to Troy to see who can build the best robot. Emma Ellis has the details.
Robots were taking over the Trojan Center ballrooms as teams competing in this year's Best Robotics competition were testing out their competitive creations.
Each year, the National Best Robotics Organization, they develop a game based on a real need in an industry. And this year's game thing is called Made to Order. And for the game this year, students have to build a robot that is able to work in a fulfillment center, such as a distribution center for a warehouse.
The teams had 7 weeks to build their robots, and on Tuesday, they visited the Troy campus to test their creations. Bynum says the practice day is a traditional part of the process, but this year, it's more crucial.
It is very important because they get to practice on the actual game field, and this year's game thing has a lot of electronic components that the team would not necessarily be able to replicate on a practice field in their school. So this year's practice day is very important.
And that thought is echoed by Strawn High School's coach, who says they had no way to replicate the competition surface on their own.
So this year it's been extra crucial with the field being so complex. We have not been able to build that at our school. I'm not sure if any schools really were able to or not, but yeah, this has been absolutely necessary this year. We haven't got to make it the last 2 years, but I said, guys, we got it no matter what, we got to go. Because this is going to give us a leg up on anybody who can't make it. And I mean, it is a competition. I want everybody to do well, but I want us to do the best. So, so it's been great to get and fine-tune things, make sure our robot's moving around on the track well, and make sure we can actually operate the way we've been in our head planning for 8 weeks now, 7 weeks now.
Bowen adds that a competition like this is educational, but it also gives his students an opportunity to work with students they may not have interacted with otherwise.
We've got a variety of kids of grade levels. You know, I didn't necessarily see them together outside of class, but when it comes to robotics, they get together and they find that common place, and it's just such a unique interest too, especially because robotics just across the board in industry is becoming such a huge thing, and to get some of them interested in it and finding ways robotics applies in almost every industry has just been really interesting.
After today's practice, the students will return to campus on November 5th for the actual competition. Emma Ellis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll see how Troy students learned about the music industry from a multi-Grammy nominated songwriter. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it. If I give my heart to it.
Troy University offers students a chance to learn about the business side of making music through its music industry program. And on Wednesday afternoon, Troy students had the chance to hear directly from someone who's had success in the music business. Mackenzie Foster has the story.
Troy University's School of Music held an event called In the Musician's Mind, where students were able to learn more about the music industry from an experienced artist. The guest speaker for this session was Brandon Barnes, a 4-time Grammy-nominated songwriter who has worked with musicians such as Brian McKnight, Alicia Keys, Justin Timberlake, and the list goes on. Barnes visited the university to give students an advantage that he wished he had as a young adult entering the music business.
I love the fact that there's so many interested, and I love the fact that I've done something I can help them do, because I didn't have that. So, and I love to help these young, inspiring artists and singers and musicians, producers. You know, maybe I can help them and not go through something they don't have to go through, or help them get somewhere. I love it. It's an honor for me to do that, really. Truly is.
With Barnes having 30 years of experience under his belt, there is one piece of advice that Barnes thinks is important for a musician to follow to be successful in their craft.
You just learn about people by listening to them talk, like what their interests are, what they care about, what they don't care about, what bothers them, what makes them mad. You just listen. You learn.
Along with following his advice of listening, Barnes also has a message for students that are striving to make it somewhere in the music industry.
You got to believe. You got to stop the noise. You got to believe in yourself, and what you do is important. Look how you can make a difference if you just don't let unbelief in yourself and what you know. If you love something, you got to believe in it, or you wouldn't love it, would you? So I would say to them, you know, don't let anything steal your dream.
The School of Music plans to turn their In the Musician's Mind series into a podcast for any students, faculty, and staff that are interested in hearing the stories and advice of experienced musical artists. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
A yearbook is one of the ways students can capture and document their memories on campus during their time at Troy. And students got their chance Wednesday to have their own feature in this year's upcoming yearbook with Fall Picture Day. Claudia Peppentor shows us how.
Say cheese. Fall Picture Day for the Troy University yearbook, the Palladium, has arrived once again, but this time in a new location to bring in those students who can't resist the famous Fried Chicken Wednesday in the Trojan Dining Hall.
So what we've done before is we've had Picture Day in TC during the week when we have Picture Day, but we moved it to upstairs Dining Hall, which was a different location that we've normally done because it's Fried Chicken Wednesday, and normally a lot of students come out to eat and hang out with their friends during this day, so we figured it would be really important to catch students during this time because there's a lot of movement back and forth.
For those who did make it out to Picture Day in the dining hall, they not only will get the chance to win gift cards, but also be featured in next year's upcoming yearbook, which focuses on telling the story of Troy.
Troy is basically like a really diverse school, and we want a yearbook to showcase that, to show like different students that go to school here are from different walks of life. They're involved in different things. They, you know, are going to do different things outside of Troy. So Picture Day like today is just super duper important because these are the faces that represent the school that is so diverse. So we want to just showcase that. So make sure you guys come out and take your picture, please.
If you didn't get to attend Fall Picture Day, there's no need to fret. The Palladium is utilizing a new online tool that will help them feature and showcase all of Troy's students and their organizations. Yearbook Snap allows students to simply scan the barcode from the flyers around campus or visit their website, snap.yearbookforever.com. Enter the password Trojans2022 and start uploading their pictures.
I think it's really important to utilize this tool because it's a way to express your personality and all of the different things that you're involved in on Troy, because I feel like sometimes it can be limited to just clubs or either athletics or like sororities or fraternities. So utilizing Yearbook Snap is a way to express yourself in the activities that you're involved in on campus.
And downtown Troy was filled with music and fun last Saturday as the city held an Oktoberfest on the square. Savannah Sapp has the sights and sounds from the event.
During the autumn months, one can expect to see many festivals just like this one that took place in downtown Troy. Oktoberfest is an annual celebration that originates from Germany, yet many cities here in the United States emulate that excitement during the fall. That's right, you heard it here first. Even Troy has an Oktoberfest, and people of all ages have been able to join in on the fall festivities, live music, some adult beverages, and in true Troy fashion, arts and crafts. There truly was entertainment for all ages during this year's festival. Children enjoyed some fun inflatables, face painting, balloon art, and even a magic show, while the older generation sipped on craft beer, signature cocktails, and enjoyed some live entertainment. The Assistant Director of Community Engagement explains that Oktoberfest does more than just bring fun to the square.
For the city of Troy, it really just brings the community together for a really fun event. I mean, we have everything from vendors to food trucks to a beer garden to entertainment. So, and we have football on. We have everything down here right now. So it's a really great way to just bring the whole community together, and we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So it's a fun event.
While Oktoberfest does give families an opportunity for a fun-filled Saturday, it also greatly benefits the small businesses nestled on the downtown square.
A lot of our businesses will have open late hours, so especially our restaurants do very well at this time because they have the downtown Troy Cups where people are able to come in and get a drink and bring it out to the square due to our entertainment district. And I really think that these kind of events brings people down to the square and puts the attention onto our businesses that, you know, that they really appreciate.
Porter also notes how meaningful it is to see such a variety of people, both students and local, come out to the square to celebrate.
I think that my favorite part is just seeing the wide variety of people that we have come down to the square. Like I said, we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So it's really fun to see families come down and to see kids be able to, you know, just have fun, get a little balloon, that kind of stuff. But it's also fun to see my friends down here and to see us hanging out, as well as other people in the community that I look up to too.
To keep up with future events for the fall season and the approaching holidays, check out the Downtown Troy Facebook page. Savannah Sapp, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll learn about an effort to care for cats on campus. It's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
The cooler temperatures that hit us last week arrived just in time to be fair weather as the Pike County Fair was in full swing. Georgia Clark gives us a look at this year's fair.
Attending a fall fair is a tradition that is more than familiar to the South and the residents of Pike County. The Pike County Fair has returned to the Troy Shrine Club's Pike County Fairgrounds, and the president of the Troy Shrine Club, Neil Sneed, says patrons should expect a lot this year.
Well, they expect some good food, good music, good rides, and a lot of exhibitors on the inside is selling their homemade stuff. So they come out here and enjoy, and most of all, it's for the kids. See the smiles on the kids' faces, that's all that matters.
And people of all ages are taking full advantage of the activities present at this year's fair, with plenty of rides to test your courage on and enough sweets and treats to taste test the night away. And not to mention the booths and local student artwork patrons can peruse when entering the grounds. The Troy Shriners put on the first Pike County Fair in 1963, and since its start, it has been an act of service to the community and countries around the world.
All the Shriners is volunteer. We got, like Brother Randy said, we got 22 hospitals around the world. We all do it because we care about the kids and all volunteer. And like Brother Randy said, we don't get paid nothing. So I would like everybody, if they see us trying to thank them for what they do to help little kids around the world.
Georgia Clark, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University's main quad is often filled with students. However, you can routinely find some Trojans of the four-legged variety hanging out around John Lewis Hall. Kaylee Wright introduces us to a Troy University staff member who is working on taking care of the campus cats.
What started as feeding them for a week during spring break evolved into a project to make sure that these cats are taken care of. Zhana Zhurovyova, or Z, tends to feed the campus cats every morning before she heads to work in the administration building.
Well, I'm a big animal lover and advocate. I basically just couldn't pass a hungry animal ever.
She not only feeds the cats, but she also gets them fixed and vaccinated. Z says that it increases their quality of life.
Once you spay and neuter cats, they become healthier, they put on more weight, they live longer.
Z says that taking care of the cats can be a costly task, but donations of time, money, and food have helped tremendously.
It's just been overwhelmingly pleasant, and I'm forever grateful to everyone who has stepped in. It's just been amazing.
Z says that one way that students can help take care of the cats is by feeding them. However, she asks that you do clean up after yourself once you're done.
We keep it discreet, we keep it clean, so we don't get in trouble, because we want these cats to be loved and accepted.
As you can see behind me, this is an excellent example of what the feeding area should look like once you're done. Z is sure to pick up all of her plates except for 2. You can also help by joining the Keeping Up with Campus Cats Facebook group and contribute to the Campus Cat TNR Project GoFundMe. Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll get a preview of the upcoming Trojan women's basketball season. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire before leaving. Drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
The start of the Trojan women's basketball season is right around the corner. We'll get a preview from head coach Shanda Rigby in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Shanda Rigby. She is the head coach of the Trojan women's basketball team. And as always, Shanda, it's amazing to have you in the studio. So.
Thank you so much. I know what this means when you call me to come on the show. It means the season is right around the corner.
Right,
so we're so excited.
Around the corner. And before we get into this season, I always like to go back and recap how the last season ended. And although there was a disappointing end to conference, you still got to play in a national tournament. And there were still opportunities for the team there in postseason. So going from last season to this season, how do you carry that over into this season? So.
Well, make no mistake, we are thankful that we got to be in the WNIT. That is a huge honor. Only been done, I think, twice here before. But, you know, it's not our goal. Our goal hasn't changed. We want to get in that, win the Sun Belt Conference tournament championship. We won the regular season championship. But win the tournament championship so we can get in the NCAA tournament. And we think we've learned enough from our mistakes and our wins that we feel like we can make a run in there, and we just want to get back. So we're hungry to do that.
And let's talk a little bit about personnel this year, because if you look at your roster, in there's a lot of underclassmen, which is kind of an unusual thing for your program. Talk about like the roster and how that's working out this year.
We only have 2 returning players that got significant minutes last year that started several games. And one of them happens to be the Sun Belt player, preseason player of the year, Felmus Karangas. So it's not the cupboards aren't bare.
Yeah.
So we have almost a whole new team. We can't wait for people to come out and meet them and see them. Fantastic group of young women, but they're very talented. Of course, they're very talented. So whereas some coaches might be a little uneasy about the newness of the team and them coming together and playing well, I know we're going to be fine. I know we're going to be fine because they all came here for the purpose of what we're all doing here to win championships. They seem so far to be very focused on that. You know, you draw the line. It does away with selfishness if you're all really bought into that. So we have a lot going for us right now.
Of course, and you mentioned there, you got Felmus coming back and preseason player of the year, and that's enough, almost enough, just to be able to go in the season with anybody else with you. Because I mean, amazing athlete. We talk about Felmus and obviously the preseason accolades, and then having her come back and be able to lead this team like she did last year.
Right. So I think the most disappointing moment in the Sun Belt Conference since in the off season was the fact that Felmus came back. You know, she was granted an extra year, but she got her degree last year, and she has very big plans for what she wants to go back to Kenya and do relating to the orphanage there close to her home. She's going to be a counselor. But so there was a lot of buzz about her not coming back and her just being finished. But she decided to come back. She wants to get that counseling degree so she can go back and offer her services there back home. And so it was to the dismay of my opponents and to the rejoicing of my coaching staff and I that Felmus is back.
And we'll talk a little about the conference. You mentioned the conference because there's a new look conference this year. There's new teams, different scheduling kind of concepts. Talk about the addition of the new teams and what it's going to mean for the conference schedule this year.
A few years ago, the Sun Belt adopted a slogan, rising, Sun Belt rising, like the sun rising, I guess. They played upon that. But I think these new teams are doing just that. They're helping this conference to rise in women's basketball, other sports as well. I mean, they've done a lot in football that we've seen, but definitely in women's basketball. You've got Old Dominion. They're coming in kind of like the foe to us right now because they're that defensive juggernaut, whereas we try to be the offensive juggernaut. Their net score was a little bit better than ours. They ended the season up a little bit better. So I'm just trying to take that as, you know, I love the underdog spirit. So it's hard to pretend like you're the underdog when you're the preseason conference team of the year, which we were voted and we're grateful for. But we're using that edge as that we're an underdog because we're trying to find any way we can to be as hungry as we can.
And of course, in the scheduling, the West teams you're going to play home and away, and then you've just got one single games with East teams this year, right?
Right, and then one team you don't play the way it works out, and that team that we don't play in the regular season is Old Dominion. If you can figure that, so we would only see them in the tournament.
Yeah, so the opportunity there. So, and let's talk about the schedule outside of conference because I joked with you that you're not liking the Trojan fans because you're not playing a single game before December in Trojan Arena. So.
And we are sad about that. We're so sad, but we hope the Trojan fans save up their attendances and things and come to our games when we are in town. We are on the road a lot this year. You know, it wasn't completely by design. We want to play at home, but we are trying to play the best competition that will play us, you know, for net score rankings and to get better. So, you know, we do go to UCLA and play. We do play Washington State, who's a top 50 team. We do play BYU, who was number 11 in the nation last year. We do go to Arkansas, who runs the same fast break system we do basically, but, you know, they're a higher level Power 5. So those teams, you know, they weren't going to negotiate to come here to Troy, so we're going to them. And one of those trips, we're going to be out in Los Angeles playing UCLA, go down to San Francisco and play, and then we're going to get to fly and have that trip paid for to go out to Hawaii and to be in that tournament.
So you can't turn down a trip to Hawaii, you know,
No.
this time of year as well, you know. So
I'm excited for my team to get to go and see that and see the competition we're going to see there. It's going to be phenomenal.
And first opportunity to see the Trojans at home will be when?
It's going to be, you tell me, the 7th?
Yeah, I think so. That's right.
Yes. So December 7th, and then so we'll be back home after After a lengthy time.
That's probably like 3 weeks, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, or almost a month, I guess.
Yeah,
'cause
I don't know why I don't know that
start
day.
you start on November 7th, and you come back, so it's a month away, and you come
Yes.
back here and play.
Yes.
So folks get a chance to see you in Trojan Arena.
That's right.
Finally, once December rolls around, but then when spring rolls around, they'll be able to see you all the time at Trojan Arena, winning another conference championship.
I hope so. We got a big task. We got a long way to go in a short time to get there, but I believe we can do it.
All right, we got to put that hammer down and give them heck. All right, so Shanda, thanks for joining us today, and good luck on the season. So
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. Until next week, have a good week.